Okay, it says it's recording now, so nobody swear. But anyway, well, thanks very much for taking time out in your Sunday to attend this webinar, and I hope that it will be helpful to everybody. The main objective of this webinar is to help you get started with Assessment Task 1, Part 1, which is questions 1 to 4. There's a little bit of guidance needed with answering the assessment questions, and I think it'll just help you to get through it. I've got examples and things to give, and we can just brainstorm a few things, which Meredith will be able to participate in the brainstorming as well. Now, first of all, just ask if anyone's got a mobile phone to just put it onto silent so it doesn't come through. Well, Ryan, your microphone's the only one that's working at the moment, so yeah, so if your mobile phone's near you, it'll come through on your microphone. Okay, the other thing is that the Assessment Task 1, Part 1, addresses 3 performance criteria of managed personal work priorities and professional development. Those criteria I put in the chat. How can I get rid of that? In the chat window. Now it's going, oh, there we go. I've got it again. So we've got 3 main performance criteria. Serve as a positive role model in the workplace through work planning and organisation. Ensure personal work goals, plans, activities reflect the organisation's plans and own responsibilities and accountabilities. Then measure and maintain personal performance in varying work conditions, work contents and contexts and contingencies. So we'll go through those one at a time and make sure that we can then also answer the question that relates to that in Assessment Task 1. Okay, so for the first one, serve as a positive role model in the workplace. We start by looking at the business plans of the organisation that you're working for. In the Assessment Task 1 scenario, they're asking you to look at Australian Hardware, which is a simulator business that we have available for students. Ryan, are you working already in a business?
Yeah, Australia
or
Post.
any sort of organisation?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, sorry. I have a memory like a kid. So now would you feel comfortable working with the scenario and simulator business that we have available, or would you rather work with the Australia Post business plans?
Yeah, the hardware one's fine.
Okay, awesome stuff. Now, I hope Meredith is too. So, Meredith, if you have any objections, please type now or forever hold your peace. Okay, so what I've done is I've shared the Australian Hardware website. Now, have you managed to look at this before, Ryan?
Yeah, I was just having a quick look.
Oh, yeah. Did you find it?
Sorry? The intranet?
Yeah, on the...
Yeah.
Okay, so, Meredith, in case you don't know, the internet is located on the right-hand side of the Australian Hardware screen, and it's in a dark blue bar. It's on the very right. Now, if I click on that, just tell me if you see the next page. Link that says intranet.
Yeah, it opens it up.
Oh, okay. Alright, so if you go to the button that says Access Internet.
Yep.
On that. Give me this thing. It might be possible for, yes, okay. Alright, now, it might be possible for, yes, okay. Alright, now, did you get a page document?
Yep, yep.
Alright, and there's two tabs in the middle, head office and Wollongong store. The first one is head office that we need, and 3 dot points down says Australian Hardware Business Plan. If you could click on that and see if you can download, it's a PDF file.
Yeah, you can show me the other day.
Okay, awesome. Right, so did you have time to actually look through the Australian Hardware Business Plan?
Yeah, I was having a look through it.
Okay, awesome. So the most important one was page 34, and where it's got the vision statement. I don't remember having the mission statement. Anyway, and strategic directions. Ryan, so on that page 34, can you read out what the first bit was at the top? Was it the mission statement?
On 34, it shows vision statement.
Oh, sorry, the vision statement.
Within 5 years, Australian hardware will lead the hardware and home improvement market in Australia.
Awesome. Okay, so, and what was in their strategic directions?
Increase sales revenue and gross profit, maintain or increase market share, control direct and indirect operational costs, maintain superior product and service quality standards, establish reputation of Australian hardware as socially and environmentally responsible company.
Awesome. Okay, so the vision was to be the leader in hardware and homewares in Australia in the next 5 years or something. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just putting it on the whiteboard. Australian hardware and homewares market in Australia in the next 5 years. All right, Ryan, if you'd like to put anything up on the whiteboard for Australian hardware, that would be awesome. Basically what I want to see is, and Meredith too actually, there's annotation tools on the left-hand side of the whiteboard. What I want to see is like your overall understanding of the main business goals of Australian hardware. So you can select the text tool, which is the big A and the little a, or you can select the big pencil tool, which is just further down the list above a coloured square. You can also choose what colour you want. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Meredith, are you able
You
to...
can type.
Yep. Awesome. Yep, leaders in hardware, increase sales revenue and profits. Experience. What are they aiming for in their customer service standards? Can anyone tell me what Australian Hardware are aiming for in customer service standards? What's going to set them apart from other hardware stores in Australia?
Sorry, I had my mic muted. Committed to providing customers and tradespeople with value through everyday low prices, product quality, expert service, etc.
Product quality, and what was the service?
Expert service.
Service, exactly. This is something that they will be set apart from other hardware stores by providing expert customer service, and was it high quality products as well, I believe.
Yep. Yeah.
Now Meredith says, I have written, can you see? Meredith, did you write leaders in hardware, or was that Ryan?
Yeah, she wrote that. I am.
Yeah, Meredith, leaders in hardware, you wrote it in pink. Yeah, absolutely, they want to be the leader in Australia in the next 5 years in hardware and homewares. So, alright, so I think that's a pretty good understanding of, oops, I didn't mean to put that arrow there, of the Australian hardware business goals, just as an overall big picture. So we'll move on to the next bit. So now we want to look at job description and these are job descriptions for Australian hardware. Now, has anyone looked at the assessment task document? Anyway, the job description, now there's 4 job descriptions to choose from. Ryan and Meredith, have you had a chance to look at these job descriptions at all earlier in the piece?
Yeah, I was reading through it before.
Awesome. Okay, so what about you, Meredith? Have you had a look at these before? Oh, she says yes. All right, so basically what you need to do is pick out the job description that will suit you the best. So do you have an idea which job description you'd like to go with, Ryan?
IT technical support officer.
Awesome. What about you, Meredith? Do you know which one you would like to go with? Go to the next page. There we go. So we've got retail buyer merchandiser, IT technical support, retail manager and human resources officer. Just type in the window, Meredith, which one would suit you the best. This is just, right, human resources, very good. Alright, well I should be able to do both, look at both job descriptions during the webinar. Okay, so we'll start with the IT officer. Sorry, I just shorten it to IT officer. I know it's IT technical support officer. Okay, so, right, just looking at the responsibilities of IT officer. What kind of goal, can you pick out a work goal from those responsibilities? And we can annotate this as well. I'll just give a little hint.
So, what, responsible for monitoring and maintaining the computer systems?
Yes, but what would that be as a goal?
Responding within agreed time frame? That would be a goal.
To, where is that? Responding.
Just above.
Oh, yep. Oh, yep. That can be a goal. What's the one you said was a responsibility? Monitoring and maintaining the computer systems.
Yeah, that's a job.
How would you turn that into a goal? You could turn that into a goal. Do you have some IT knowledge, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Alright. So what would be something that you would do for monitoring computer systems? Is there some kind of technique for doing that? Is there a program for doing that?
Yeah, program.
So there's actually several things there that you could turn into a goal, but yeah, responding within agreed time frames to call-outs is definitely one. Setting up new users' accounts, that's a goal. Testing and evaluating new technology and conducting electrical safety checks on computer equipment. You can also do like installation and configuration of computer systems. Could be something as a goal. So just some of those things you can just break it down smaller and make it into a goal. A human resources officer, just quickly look at that. So Meredith, the human resources officer, and the HR officer has a fair bit involved, but they've got, I know there's one about employing the right balance of staff in terms of skills and experience. Oh, here we go. Employ the right balance of staff in terms of skills and experience. Okay. Assisting managers to understand and implement policies and procedures. Promoting equality and diversity. Liaising with staff on performance and health and safety are two different goals. But that's one thing there that you can break into two different goals. So liaising with staff such as liaising with staff over policies with performance and policies with health and safety. Development internet policies such as equal opportunities. Yeah, well, developing and implementing policies is a big part of the HR officer's job. Recruiting staff is the main part of it. Ensuring that training and development opportunities are available. Okay, so there's quite a few goals there. So the next thing we do is we can go onto a new whiteboard and let's just write some suggested goals that we picked out from our job description onto our whiteboard so that we can work out if they are suitable for work goals. So I wonder if it'll let you copy and paste. Oops. Just going to try it. No, it doesn't. Damn. Okay. Oops. Sorry, can you see the whiteboard? So suggested work goals from your job description.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I believe you can also save documents from the webinar as well if you need to. And it could, I think if you do that, it might let you copy and paste from the document. Let's see. No, it started a new whiteboard, sorry. Yeah, I'll go back to there. So Meredith, what kind of goals does the HR officer have that would just, what would stand out to you as a work goal for a HR officer? You should be able to type it into the whiteboard. Just click anywhere on the whiteboard and type. IT. It. Your goal is it.
Yeah, it's just away and I can't add to it.
Can you click next to it? Oh, look, you erased it. Alright, support new and ongoing staff. Obviously, that's the HR officer. Okay, do you have another suggestion, Meredith? Ryan, why did you delete your typing again? Don't be shy. So IT technical support officer has things like monitoring computer systems, maintaining computer systems, responding to call-outs within a time frame, evaluating and testing new technology. Yep, HR reinforce OH&S, absolutely. What about hiring staff for HR? Would that be one of your main work goals? Yep, setting up new user accounts and profiles, yep, for IT. Responding within time frames for calls. Meredith, do you have any more? Do you want me to move on? Ryan's on fire. Evaluating new staff, yep. Okay. Alright, well that's a good start. Now, have you guys heard of SMART goals?
No.
Okay, it's an acronym. The S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable or attainable, depending on which person is writing the SMART criteria. R stands for relevant, and T stands for time-based. Now, I do have a short video, which I'm hoping I can share, that will just give you a bit further insight into the SMART goals criteria. And it is just a short video. I'm going to try and share it to the meeting. Now let me know if you can't hear or see anything. It might just take a little bit to load. Watch. So it's a YouTube video. Let's try it.
Have you ever had a goal you couldn't complete? And they're achievable and they have a clear point of success. So let's break that down. SMART goals are specific, they are measurable, they are attainable, they are relevant to your overall aims, and they are time-bound. But that in itself doesn't mean much to you, so why don't we use that with a specific scenario or goal? A common goal that many people have is they want to be rich. So let's take a look at that one. Now, I want to be rich has a couple of basic issues. Firstly, how do I know when I've won? How do I know when I'm rich? What is rich anyway? Rich means a lot of things to a lot of different people. And lastly, when? When am I intending to be rich? The goal I want to be rich isn't complete yet. It's still in its very early stages. So let's use the SMART acronym to turn I want to be rich into a real goal. So the first thing to use here is the S for specific. Now for specific we use the 5 W's. That is who, what, when, where and why. And that allows us to really break down the goal into its core component parts. So let's get started with that. The first one is who. Well, in this case it's me. I want to be rich. So that's that. The next one is what. Well, rich isn't specific enough. Let's break it down a little bit. For me, personally, I think that to be rich, I need to have $5 million in my bank account. So I'm going to say $5 million. You might want to pick a higher or a lower number. That's up to you. The next one is when. I'd like to have that $5 million by the time I turn 50. So I'm going to choose by the time before I turn 50. I'm a little sensitive about it, so I'm not going to tell you how old I am right now, but suffice it to say the when for me is before I turn 50. Where, in this particular instance, doesn't really matter, because I'm going to be working in various places. Depending on your goal, though, the where may become important. And lastly, we have why. Please don't skip over why. It becomes really important later on. In this case, I want to have $5 million before I turn 50, because 50 is when I would like to retire. So now if you take a look at that, just that, we've got I want to be rich versus we now know that it's me, it's $5 million, it's before I turn 50, the where doesn't matter, and why am I doing it? So that I can retire. Already this goal is starting to look a little bit better, and we've only done the S. So let's move on now to measurable. The reason we have measurable is because we need to know where the finish line is. We need to know when we've completed the goal. Alright? So let's take a look at why. Let's imagine that as a boss I say to you, okay, look, I want you to keep running in this race until you win. Just run until you win. And you pass a milestone and you're thinking, okay, have I finished yet? Am I done? And you pass another milestone and, you don't know when you win until you see the finish line. And that's the point I'm trying to make here, is that a goal isn't a good goal until there is a finish line. And in a SMART goal, The finish line must either be a true or false, it must be a yes or a no, or it needs to be a number. Because only with a true or false, yes or no, or a number, does that work like a finishing line. And so in this case, we've got $5 million. $5 million is a number. If I've got $4,999,999 in the account, well then I haven't achieved my goal. The moment I get that extra dollar, and I've got $5 million, then I know I passed my goal. So that is measurable, and it gets the tick of approval. All right, after measurable, we have attainable. For me, personally, I feel that $5 million is attainable. However, you may feel that it's not and might want to set a lower number, or some people might say it's a bit too low, and so they might want to set it a little bit higher. The reason we have attainable is so that you don't lose the motivation for a goal. For example, let's say you have a staff member and you say to them, look, I want you to make $1 million worth of sales this month. Well, if they're only selling products worth $50 and they're not sort of selling on the internet via mass marketing, that may be a completely impossible goal, and so they'll ignore it. It's not a real goal. In this case, though, $5 million by the time I turn 50, I think it's attainable, and so we give it the tip. The next one is relevant. The relevant is why I asked you to make sure that you do include the why in the 5 W's. Relevant means that this SMART goal fits into the overall reason that you're doing this. So in this case, we've got, why do I want $5 million? Well, I want that $5 million so that I can retire. All right? And so in this case, yes, $5 million is relevant to my overall sort of goal or aim of retiring. So, for example, if I had said that I want to have a Ferrari so that I can retire, well, that doesn't work because that's not really relevant to me retiring. That's relevant to something else. It still could be a SMART goal, but in this case, $5 million is far better because getting $5 million is actually relevant to me wanting to retire. So in this case, that's a big fat yes. Next, we have time-bound. Well, as stated before, we're going to make it by the time I'm 50 so that I can retire, so yes, it is time-bound. So if you take a look at that now, we've got a whole bunch of the good stuff. And I can now take the goal of I want to be rich, and using those elements, I can turn it into I want to have $5 million by the time I'm 50 years old so that I can retire. And that is a far better goal than the goal of I want to be rich, which I think we can all agree isn't that fantastic in the light of our new SMART goal. All right, so just to be very clear, SMART goals are specific, they are measurable, they are attainable, they are relevant to your overall goals and aims, and they are time-bound. And that, in a nutshell, is a SMART goal.
So I'm just going to get rid of that window for now. We don't need to save it. So is there any comments, questions about setting SMART goals? Yeah, I think it's good for this purpose. So what we need to do is we're just going to look at the suggested goals that we've written up on the whiteboard, and we're going to look at, you know, do they fit the SMART criteria, and how we're going to make them fit the SMART criteria. So if we look at Meredith for the HR officer, support new and ongoing staff. Okay, so we need to make sure that it's specific, measurable, attainable or achievable, relevant and time-bound. So obviously it's relevant because that's part of her job description as the HR officer. It probably needs a bit more specifying, support you and ongoing staff. Like, how are you supporting them? What are you supporting them with? Is this in regard regards to performance management? Is this in regards to interpersonal issues, job issues, work issues? But how are we supporting new and ongoing staff? Does this mean we're giving new staff inductions? Or is this just in relation to the whole thing of like implementing all new policies so that all staff are aware of policies, blah, blah, blah. So you have to drill down to exactly what specific thing you are going to be doing in this goal. Then you have to make it measurable. So if I can just type, so specific, what exactly are you going to be doing in this goal? Measurable. You have to give it like a timeline or?
Yeah.
Well, I guess so because time is a measurement. So it could be, yeah, both measurable and time-bound if it's a time frame. So I guess like in regards to support new and ongoing staff, it depends on exactly what thing Meredith wants to support them with. So if it's OH&S policies, or say like, you know, implementing new OH&S policies, that would be maybe once every 6 months. So Meredith's got every 6 months. So we just need to know exactly what type of support it is that you're going to be giving as your goal. And this is just an example. You don't have to go with this one if you don't want to. So we're going to go with achievable. So you just have to make sure that it is within your means to achieve it. So for instance, she's not going to go and do the IT officer's job. Or if support means like giving them IT support, that would be something that the IT officer can do. So relevant is relevant to your job, which it is, because we made sure of that already. And T, time bound. So this supporting a person every 6 months. So it just depends. She's just going to have to decide on what type of support it is, because that statement in itself, it's just too broad. It could cover a lot of things for HR officer. So what we need is we need it to be very specific. So we'll look at one of Ryan's. Okay, testing and evaluating new technology. Or, well, it's relevant to your job. It's part of your job description. So how could we make it more specific, Ryan? What is new technology? Can it be hardware, software, is it gadgets? What would yeah, exactly. What would be
and then why?
yeah, you can do that. Exactly. So I guess in regards to testing and evaluating new technology, this would be to give Australian hardware or that technological support, or I guess benefit the business somehow. So they're at the forefront of developments in technology with regards to the work that they're doing. So it could be like point of sale systems or just general office systems, networking systems, So you can just pick out one specific thing. So like testing and evaluating new network administration systems or point of sale systems, something like that. So we don't want to leave it too broad because then it gets hard to measure. So what specific technology? So how would you measure that? Is it one new piece of technology or whatever it is that you want to be testing and evaluating? Is it one new thing a month? So we want a quantity there, so say one, whatever it is that you're going to be doing. Yeah, testing and evaluating new point of sale systems. Okay. So you just make sure it's achievable, that it's within your means. Obviously, you know, you may have some kind of budget or something in order to test out technology. Sorry, did you say something in Ryan? I just saw your microphone come on and then it went off again.
No, sorry.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so do you have the resources to achieve it? Relevant? Yep. Time bound. What would be a realistic time frame for testing new point of sale systems? How often do you think?
Yeah, one month.
One a month? So that would be keeping up with changes in technology then. So this is how we turn these goals into SMART goals. Now, what you'll need to do is work on these in your own time. Or, you know, we need to write at least 4 work-related goals to our chosen job description, and we need to make sure that they are SMART. Now, I have a document to show you, and you might be able to, you should actually be able to save this. All right, we'll start with, oh. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste some text. Okay. Let's try and do it on a new whiteboard. Oh, look, there it is. Can you guys see a whole bunch of text on the whiteboard? Ryan, we need some IT support. Yeah, we do. Goodness me. All right, can you guys see a whiteboard? Oh, you got it. Good. Awesome. So I've done this as an example. This is what I want your assessment document to look like. This will be the final copy. Now you can send me drafts. Like we can email drafts and we can just, you know, I can give you suggestions or, you know, help you sort of fine tune it. But the end result is going to look something like this. Now obviously I haven't chosen an Australian hardware job role. I did it based on my job role as an online trainer assessor. What I need to see at the start is, you know, my job role is So Ryan's will be IT Technical Support Officer, Meredith will be Human Resources Officer. You don't need to say please see attached documents or anything because the job description was in the assessment task for you guys. But anyways, this is just supporting documentation for my purposes. So then we have question 1, and the question begin a document that has 4 to 5 personal and team goals that you could set to help achieve the business plans or goals of Australian hardware. Okay, so obviously I left Australian hardware in there because that was the question in the assessment task, but I did it as an online trainer assessment for New Horizons / Trainsmart. So you just need a minimum of 4 goals, maximum of 5. Doesn't matter at this point if they're personal or team. We work that out later on down in one of the further on questions. So, and you just do A, B, C, D and have each goal listed there. Then don't worry about question 3. At the moment, I don't think we're going to get to it today because we've already run over time, but that's only because we had technical issues at that, and I don't want to hold anyone up. Unless you guys are happy to keep going, we can do. But if you need to be somewhere, please let me know. We can just carry on at another time with the rest of it. All right. Don't want to take up too much of your Sunday. But yeah, these things happen sometimes. But yeah, if you're happy to, then I'm happy to as well. So, are you guys okay with the layout of your assessment document? Okay, Meredith. All right, so you need to leave the house in half an hour, or you need to leave the webinar in half an hour? Okay, awesome. All right, we can do that. All right, so that's pretty much how I want your assessment to look. So you can copy and paste that if you need to, or I think you might be able to save that whiteboard actually, I'm not sure. But actually you should be able to save that whiteboard. Okay, so on to the next thing. So we can get through as much as possible before Meredith has to leave. Alright, so let's say we go and develop our 4 goals in our own time. So the next thing we have to do is we have to ensure that our chosen goals are a reflection of the organisation's goals and plans and responsibilities as outlined in our job description. That bit's going to be easy because we base the goals on our job description. The slightly tricky part will be showing how it fits in with the organisation's plans, but I can help you with that. So the other part of the assessment is to write a journal, which is just a way of showing our thought processes and how we arrived at the conclusions we made. It's not going to be Dear Diary. It's just going to be set out pretty similar to the way I've done question 1 here and question 3, except it's going to be more description. So you're just writing paragraph answers. Now, obviously, I can give you email coaching with your drafts on that as well. So just to have a look at how our chosen goal fits in, or chosen goals are fitting with our job description, I think would be the easiest way to start off. Oops. Okay, where's... Oh, that's funny. Oh, hang on. Go. Right, so looking at these basic goals. Alright, I'm going to give you an example, actually, to work on. So for HR officer, I'm going to put it in the HR officer, an example goal for HR officer. I'm just referring to my examples here. So there's a good one. Ensure that, hang on. Oh yeah, ensure that equal opportunities, policies are up to date. Let's see. By introducing or updating to, oh it's going off the screen, to equal opportunities, policies every 4 months. Okay, that's an example goal. An example goal for an IT officer. And please don't copy this word for word. Please put it in your own words if you can, or just make it sort of similar. All right. Let's see evaluating new technology one. Oh, now, do you think I can find it? No. Okay, this is just an example. I want it a bit darker, actually. So test and evaluate new point of sale systems once a month. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to describe in a paragraph how this is going to fit in with our job description. So, and the way we answer that is we start off by writing this goal reflects my job description or relates to my job description or ties in with my job description, however you want to put it, because, okay, so you explain, and it could just be as simple as my job description states that I'm responsible for testing and evaluating new technology. Okay? It could be as simple as that. So, Ryan, if you have anything to add to that sentence, how you would like to explain it, please feel free to write it on the whiteboard. So how it fits in with your job description. Meredith, same for you. Although I'm probably going to run out of room soon. Might have to start a new whiteboard. In this job description because for Meredith, just for an example, ensuring that equal opportunities policies are up to date every 4 months is fits in with your job description. I think it says liaising with staff and implementing equal opportunities policies. It says it somewhere in there. Right, Ryan's put, my job description states that I'm responsible for testing new technology. Yeah. Correct. Sorry, I'm just having a look at the HR job description. Okay. Promoting equality and diversity stated as part of your job responsibilities. So that's how that goal would relate to that one. Does that make sense, Meredith? Awesome. Now I can help you, like I said, with emails if you type whatever ideas you have as a draft and I can help you fine tune it. Okay, so all right, let me just go on to the next bit. I think. All right, so then we look at because the question is asking if the goal reflects any function of the team. So if we just have a look at the two examples, ensuring equal opportunities policies are up to date, would that somehow facilitate the function of the team? And this could be like talking about the store employees as a team in general. And I would say yes, yes. Meredith, why do you think, or do you agree with me that this goal could facilitate the function of the team? And I'm just thinking along, yes, because it's very important. Absolutely. With and I would just say something along the lines of that equal opportunities policies in the workplace are very important to the whole team getting along without, bullying and harassing or discriminating. The team works together a lot better with policies in place like that, and awareness being raised too. That's a very important thing. With yeah, that's right. Yep, adding to communication. That's right. So communication is very important for the function of the team. So yeah, you could explain it like that. With testing, evaluating new point of sale systems once a month, would that be a function of the team, or would that enable the function of the team? What do you think, Ryan? Maybe function. It would enable the function of the sales team.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Like processing sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting quicker systems in place so they can serve more customers.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, and therefore enhancing the customer service experience. You could really lay it on really thick if you like. Yeah, so that would enable the function of the team. So you can just explain that. So the next part of that question is how that goal will then fit in with the Australian hardware business plans. So ensuring equal opportunities are up to date. Oh, that's a bit of a tough one. I haven't come across that before. I'm sure that'll be in the strategic direction somewhere. I'm just trying to think. That's something that we'd probably have to look into a bit further in the business plan, but it's beneficial to make a reference to where in the business plan that goal would be related to. So it could be related to providing excellent customer service, because with people trained up on equal opportunities, they're going to have a much better way of communication with their customers. I suppose you could put it like that, which would, help provide that Australian business goal of providing that excellent customer service experience or standards. So yeah, you could put it like that. Or you might find something better in the business plan where it says that, they want all their staff trained up on equal opportunities policy. It could just be that. Most mission statements talk about equal opportunity. Yeah, they do these days. Not sure if it's in the mission of Australian hardware though, to the best of my knowledge, because I haven't actually looked at it for a while. But definitely if it's part of their mission, you could relate it to that. But yeah, like I said, it's not one that comes up very often. But anyway, but you could somehow just relate it to the business plan, just by being a little bit creative. But again, I can help you with that. With testing and evaluating new point of sale systems once a month. So if you relate that to the Australian hardware business plan, where do you think that would tie in with their overall business goals, Ryan? And I know it's probably a dumb question, but I just need to check. I just need your input.
Sorry, what was the question?
Where do you think testing and evaluating new point of sale systems would tie in with the Australian hardware business plan? What part of the business plan would that be reflecting or helping Australian hardware to achieve? Do you need a hint? So
Service or customer experience?
that would definitely be a part of it. How about the main, what's the bottom line for every business? They want to make money, don't they?
Yeah, profit.
Yeah, so it would help further their goals of increasing their profit.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, you could tie it in with anywhere that's relevant in the business plans or business goals, mission or vision statements, and strategic directions. So as long as it's mentioned in the business plan and that you can sort of explain how that is relevant to that. So I think I need to give you an example of how we write this out into the assessment. Okay. Oh, look, I've got test and evaluate one new software, hardware, or gadget each week. Okay, yes, I've got relates to the Australian hardware business plans and its states in their strategic directions to maintain superior service quality standards. By keeping up with changes in technology, Australian hardware staff would be able to conduct their work more efficiently, which in turn would provide an excellent standard of service to the customers. So I had that example right in front of me and I didn't even realise it. Okay, so I'm going to, did that other document end up sharing? No, it's still trying to load. Alright, I'll get rid of it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up, so I'm expecting the same thing to happen with the journal example. Example. Okay. I'm just going to copy and paste. Alright, now can you guys see a bunch of text on another whiteboard that's got question 2 on it? Okay, great. So again, we need you to start. Alright, awesome. Now you can't copy this because it's obviously about being an online trainer, but this is to give you an example of how to answer question 2. Now again, we need you to put what your job role is at the top because it's hard sometimes to know, like when I'm going through marking assessments, I need to just be able to know straight away like what it is you're talking about. So it just helps me to mark quicker if you put your job role at the top. And then question 2, and then A. So I need you to talk about each goal. So this one, and talk about how it fits in with your job description, function of the team if applicable, and how it fits in with the Australian Hardware Business Plan. Just think of it as you're answering 3 things for the goal. Okay, so basically, you know, a paragraph answer is fine. It doesn't have to be a 10-page essay or anything like that. So this is what's called the journal part. And you save this as a separate document and call it like your name assessment task 1 journal, because the assessment specifies that you have the journal questions in one document and the other questions are just in a document. So there'll be 2 documents that you'll be working on at this point. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, it's now 11:30 and Meredith has to leave. So I just want to quickly make sure, has this given you guys something to start off with on your assessment task?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And Meredith says yes, I think so. Well, actually. Okay. Now I can send you a link to the recording of this webinar after we've finished, and you can refer back to it at any point. And now if you'd like further coaching on any of this, I will be available to you for a phone appointment if you wish, or a Skype appointment. I know, Ryan, you're working, so I am available on Sundays for that kind of coaching if you wish, or we can just email if that would work better for you. So
Okay.
yeah. So just let me know which method would work for you, or you know, you can just like sit down, have a look at it, try and have a go, and then let me know if you need further help.
Okay.
Now, I will be having another webinar to continue on with the assessment task. So, so yeah, it depends if you want to be available for next Sunday, or I can leave it for the Sunday after next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday.
All right, awesome. Okay, well, I hope that this was productive for you, and that we can, hopefully next time we won't have so many technical issues. and things will go a lot smoother. But yeah, these things are bound to happen when you're trying to run to a time frame for technical stuff. But Ryan, if you become an IT technical support officer, then we'll have an expert on hand to help. So after you do this assessment, you probably will be an expert. But anyway, all right, guys. Well, feel free to email me any questions or text message me any questions afterwards. I'm going to have to close the meeting now.
Okay, thank you.
Stop.